Hello everyone, Mocha Bear here. Welcome back to Mocha Bear's Hobby Den. Today we're going to talk about the controversy surrounding the new Custodes models that were revealed during the preview show. Shall we get started? So, this is something that came up, I want to say it was late 2024. But if you've not been following the Warhammer community and specifically the information around the Custodes and that whole thing, Games Workshop had released an article talking about female Custodes. And all of the die-hard Custodes fans and lore accurate Warhammer fans got really pissed at Games Workshop for announcing female Custodes. And then for a while it was silent. I hadn't heard anything about it until the preview show came out. So let's go ahead and hop on over here real quick. So New Year preview, all new Legio Custodes revealed. Now mind you, this is for Warhammer Horus Heresy, but the Custodes models are finally being released in plastic for it. And most, if not all of the models can be used for 40K because everything they have is available in the 40K codex. So we're going to scroll on down. This is the box set. So you got the shield captain, you have a tank, dreadnought, some spearmen, and sword and shield, sword and board. So here are, I forgot to go back to the first shot of it, but so these are the spear models. They look really cool. They do have some unhelmeted options. As you see, this one's got the mohawk plume, just looks like bolted into their skull, which I at first was like, huh? And then at second glance, is like, why? I personally think that looks really goofy. But yeah, the new Custodian Guard are the quintessential image of the Custodians we all know and love. Tall guardian spears, high plumed helmets, and glorious golden armor. Kit for these contains options for bear heads and command staff, including a Vexilla. The Warhammer 40k fans among you might have noticed these would also be perfect for representing the Custodian Guard and Adeptus Custodes army. So like I said, they can be used for 40k. Again, you've got the Custodian Sentinels. These are the sword and board, and they can be used for your Custodian Guard. So again, right there, I find that goofy, the plume, like to the bare head. Why not just go bareheaded like him? Just have hair or bald. I don't care, but that's goofy. But hey, to each his own. But then you also have the tank. This is the Caladius Annihilator Grav. I'm not sure if it can be built multiple ways, but that does look pretty cool. And here's more images of it. Here's their dreadnought, which actually looks really sick. You got a spear option, and then the sword and board option. Here's the shield captain, and here is one. So I love how with this article, it doesn't show everything that they showed during the preview show, the reveal show. But this, everyone's clear. They're stating that this shield captain is a female Custodes. And they even say this is confirmed to be a female Custodes. And my thing is, looks badass. I personally would go with the helmeted option. And if I got a second one, I would go with the bear head. But then again, me personally, I would just magnetize, just put a magnet in the top of the neck and the bottom of the headpiece, and you can just swap them out easily. And then of course you've got the Caldeus Grav, or it's the Grav tank. You've got the what are they called? So the Aquila on their backs. Venatari. There we go. These are called the Venatari. You clearly can see I am not a Custodes player. Naz is getting into them. So and then it comes with a second. Okay, so it comes with a second tank. That's actually really cool. That would be a really good box set for 40k. But here is the thing. New Custodes, your questions answered. Yes, some of these awesome new Custodes miniatures are female. Is this a new thing? Well, yes and no, because up to this point, every Custodes model has been helmeted, except for specific characters, and you've seen just male heads. You've never seen female heads. And they point out something that I point out all the time, is that armor is supposed to be protective. And yet the Sisters of Battle, their armor accentuates their feminine figures. And it's like, okay, that's just something that's become a heavy norm in the fantasy culture, whether it's medieval fantasy, high fantasy, futuristic, grimdark fantasy. Feminine features in the armor have been the norm for female characters. That's why when in Game of Thrones, when what's her name, we saw her character played Captain Phasma in the Star Wars sequels. People got pissed. They also got pissed the Phasma armor, because it didn't have breast portions in the armor. It didn't accentuate breasts. And like they said, I said the same thing. Armor is supposed to be practical, but also protective. If you were to do that, that would weaken the metal. That would weaken the armor. And the Custodes are the elite of the elite. From when I first got into 40K, the lore stated that 1 Space Marine was worth 10 Guardsmen. And then 1 Custodes was worth 10 Space Marines, which means 1 Custodes is worth 100 Guardsmen. The Custodes are individuals that have been literally created. They'd been built to be, they're built different. And they are built to be the ultimate warrior. They are the guard of the Emperor. They protect the Golden Throne. And they do not back down from anyone. They will not back down from the Grey Knights. And the Grey Knights have lost against the Space Wolves. What do they think they're going to do against the Custodes? And these are people who hunt and fight demons for fun and sport in the palace. But again, I digress. Who cares? I can understand Space Marines not being female because of the genetic makeup required for the surgeries and everything. That I can understand. I can understand. However, there could be exceptions. The Custodes weren't originally around as the Emperor's Guard. They eliminated the Thunder Warriors, who were his original soldiers and guard. I don't want to hear that, oh, there can't be females, but there can be if they choose to make them. They could be a whole new faction made. They don't need to be an original faction. Or they could be an original faction that was made and kept secret. You know how many chapters there are out there? I mean, hell, we have 2 Primarchs that are gone. I mean, like, completely erased from the records. So you can have female Custodes. And have you changed the lore? I thought all Space Marines and Custodes were male. Space Marines, yes. Lore-wise, Space Marines are made from human males, willing aspirants, or unwilling conscripts on the cusp of adolescence. They are subjected to a series of horrific trials, and the strongest emerge as remorseless killers, their humanity stripped away so they can serve as living weapons in the Emperor's armies. There are no female Adeptus Astartes currently. That is something that they could reveal later on in the lore. Again, could be a secret, could be brand new that's being secretly worked on. Custodes are not Space Marines. People forget that. Custodes are not Space Marines. Other than the obvious point that they are both towering, gene-enhanced warriors, the similarities pretty much stop there. Custodes are taken as infants and recrafted by ancient science. The process is arcane and bespoke to each individual. The Emperor himself retained oversight of the process, at least until the whole Horus Heresy thing went down. So again, just like how the Space Marines, they are put together from the gene seed of the Primarchs. And the Primarchs were taken from the Emperor's genes. Custodes, they are put together parts directly from the Emperor himself. So the Primarchs are stronger than the Space Marines. It is said in the lore that Primarchs could be would be at possibly on par with a Custodes. If you had a Primarch versus a Custodes, it wouldn't be just a quick and over fight. It would be a slugfest. Okay? So remember that. But aren't the Custodes made from the sons of Terran noble houses? Some of them are, yes. The Emperor is all about symbolism and authority, so those pre-unification patriarchal houses that passed their kingdoms down to firstborn sons had those sons taken and remade as guardians of the Emperor. That is still true, but that was not the only source of recruitment. Other methods might have been equally overt, others far more secretive. Again, noble daughters could also have been taken, and at some point, you run out of noble houses. Even after you've conquered all of Terra, the inexorable war machine of the Imperium still requires a constant churn of recruits. Again, like I said, you have, and here we go. This is actually right there. This model right here on the left with the hair, female Custodes. But you don't see that there. Which, I found that interesting that they kept it out of this article, but made a separate one for it. Which I guess was smart to make a separate one, but you should have kept it in the other article. That would get more traction that way. How different are the male and female Custodes? All Custodes, male or female, embody the pinnacle of the genetic and cellular engineering the Emperor employed when creating his armies. They are all flawless creations, pushed beyond the limit of human potential. There is no difference in combat efficiency between a male Custodian and female Custodian. Can I be a Custodes when I grow up? No. If you can read this, you're already too old. Sorry. Yeah, they are taken as infants, newborns. So, again, I have no issue with female Custodes. I think that that is just badass. And if anyone that has an issue with Custodes being female, check your ego. Check your ego. You are toxic. You are the toxic part of the community. Because, yeah, Games Workshop is being inclusive. They're broadening their horizons. I don't want to hear Games Workshop's being woke. They're including women. So what? Warhammer is not exclusively for men. It is available for everybody. Men, women, everything in between. Whatever you want. So why can't the Custodes, who are genetically altered from infancy, prepubescent, way prepubescent, infancy, to be made into elite guard for the Emperor himself? Why can't women be that way? I think that it is fine. I think it is really cool. I think it is a great way to bring other individuals into Warhammer, especially women who are like, oh, I want a female army, but I don't want to do the Sisters of Battle. You got the Custodes now. And you can have men and women. You can still, if you want, you can still do males. You don't have to use the female models, the bodies. Some of them don't even look like they're female bodies. The only way you can tell is by the head, which again is an option. You don't have to do the head option. So again, I personally, even though I'm not a Custodes player, I don't have an issue with this. I know a few people personally that are Custodes players. They don't have a problem with it. And some of them have been in the hobby for a while. So I don't understand. Is it change? Is your ego so fragile that you're worried that, oh, they're including more women into the lore, into the hobby? They're taking away from men. Bruh, you're toxic as hell. Shut up. Go away. If it's not for you, it's not for you. But you don't have to try to ruin it for everyone else. If you don't want them, don't get them. Get what you've been getting. You don't have to get these. They're options. Get over it. But that's where I'm just going to leave it there, okay? I'm bringing controversy into this. I don't give a damn. I'm sick and tired of hearing about the, blah, 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 the lore, they're changing the lore. Things are going to constantly be changing. Things go on long enough, they're going to change. Get over it. If you don't like it, you can either quit the hobby or just don't get the new models. It's as simple as that. But I'm going to go ahead and end it there. If you enjoyed this, please give this video a like. If you didn't like it, give this video a thumbs down. I don't care. This isn't for everybody. But those who care, you're welcome to enjoy it. If you don't want them, don't worry about it. Make sure you hit the subscribe button, hit the bell icon, set notifications to all get notified when I upload videos and do live streams. Comment down below if you did or did not enjoy this episode, why or why not. Would love to hear from you. What do you think of the new Custodes? And then also, please, lastly, share this video, bring awareness to my channel, help me continue to grow. Gonna go ahead and end it there, so please, as always, take care of yourselves. Until next time, hobby on.